Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rich Mayer with EPA out of Dallas, Texas. And also I have Paul Torcoletti from EPA in the back there, also from EPA. So I'm glad to be here this afternoon. And, I've known John for probably, I guess you started 15 years ago, something like that. So I've worked with John a very long time, and we've had a lot of interesting conversations on LANL before. As far as EPA, and the state has the primacy under the hazardous waste program. EPA, back in 1989, did write the permit which required corrective action or investigation of solid waste management units back in 1989. And then, as a lot of EPA programs go, EPA starts the program, and then they are delegated the program over to the state, and in this case, in 1996, the state was delegated the hazardous waste program, so they have the lead on that program right now, so I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of history about that. But I'm going to just give you a little bit of an update on what EPA has authority over at LANL, in which these programs have not been delegated to the state of New Mexico, although we do work very closely with the state, and sometimes they do help us with inspections at some of these sites and programs. One of the programs we have is the polychlorinated biphenyl permit, which I went the long term there, but it's really PCB. You probably heard the chemical PCB permit. EPA has the lead on that. Los Alamos, this site is located at Area G, technical area 54. That's the area where they've got all their landfills, and it's also the technical area where those shafts are located. And so EPA has the lead on that. Los Alamos has stopped disposing of waste at these landfills. There are several landfills and shafts where they dispose of PCB waste. And now they've closed those sites, and they're going through closure. Now the closure, these sites are intermixed with all other types of sites out there. There's also low-level sites out there, disposal sites, and there's also other solid waste management unit sites there. So the closure is going to be done, the exact closure requirements will be done per InMed's requirements under the consent order. So that's where we're at on that. Another program that EPA still has primacy over is the radiation permit, where they are required to meet certain air emission standards for radiation. And Los Alamos, we have not found any problems with the air emissions being exceeded for radiation at Los Alamos. Los Alamos does monitor for these contaminants, and also the state they assist EPA. The Oversight Bureau also has several monitoring instruments there for radiation. Now, they have detected at Los Alamos on a few occasions some elevated radiation, but those elevated radiation readings were located well within the facility boundary. They were not located outside the facility boundary where the public would be exposed. So we've not found any problems with that. And like I said earlier, the Oversight Bureau does a lot of monitoring for us there too. So another program that EPA has primacy on is the Clean Water Act. And under the Clean Water Act, we've got two permits. Los Alamos has an individual stormwater permit where they are monitoring approximately 400 solid waste management units for stormwater, and Michael was talking about that earlier. I know, I guess they've not gotten much rain over the last several months, which is not unusual out here. And I think also the New Mexico Stormwater Bureau aids us in that program, and they went out and did an inspection in February, and you can find the results of the inspection on the InMed webpage if you're interested. And also another permit another Clean Water Act permit that Los Alamos has is the wastewater, and it's discharged out of the pipe, so to speak. And they have greatly reduced, to their credit, they've greatly reduced the number of outfalls that they've had over the years. I think, Michael, you used to have over 100, didn't you? Yeah. And now they're down to, I think, only 7 outfalls. So that's been very helpful. And so I think, I'm looking at a report from the from the industrial stormwater permit person at EPA, and she mentioned that they have had a few, on these permits, they've had a few exceedances, but they've been very, I guess what I'm trying to say, they're very low number, very low percentage of exceedances, and then when they do have an exceedances, they have corrected them in a timely fashion, so we really haven't had any problems with that permit, right now. And another thing that we're also doing is we're also providing funding for, New Mexico is taking approximately 120 groundwater samples from groundwater monitoring wells at Los Alamos, and these are the wells that they're using to monitor for the various sites. And so we are providing funding for those samples to be analyzed. And the results of those should be coming back within the next few weeks. So that's what we're doing here at